Hello, everyone. How are you today? When you come in, say hi. Today, we're going to talk about Saturday morning cartoons. Remember getting up all excited to watch Saturday morning cartoons when you were a kid? Did you realize that some of them had very deep metaphysical meanings behind them? That's what we're going to talk about today. But first, I just have to say this. The sun is finally out here. Woohoo! I am so excited to see the sun. It's been days since we've seen the sun. It's been extremely unseasonably cool here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I think we might have gotten up to 40 degrees yesterday. Maybe not, 39, 40 degrees. It's supposed to be in the mid to upper 70s at this point of the year. And our furnace wasn't working yesterday. Thankfully, woohoo! They got it working today. Yay! I have heat and sunshine. That makes it fabulous. For those of y'all that don't know me, I'm Kelly Lee Sappenfeld. I'm a generation metaphysician, spiritual teacher, soul evolution coach, speaker, and author. And today we're going to talk about Saturday morning cartoons. Now, in the chat, put what was your favorite cartoon that you couldn't wait to get up and watch on Saturday mornings as a kid? Because you know what? There was a lot of life lessons in those cartoons. And there's a lot of metaphysical principles in those cartoons. So I'm going to tell you about one cartoon in particular. And I'm sure most of y'all remember Looney Tunes, right? And do you realize in 1948 and Roadrunner was created? This is an extremely metaphysical cartoon. Did you realize that? In 1948, when they created Wile Coyote on this side, adversary Roadrunner, right? Wile Coyote was always starving, hungry, wanting to capture Roadrunner so desperately that he kept doubling down and doing what he kept doing, but maybe doing it to the nth degree. It's like, I'm going to give it 110% this time. I'm not giving up. And where those are great positive traits, where it's like, I'm giving it 110%, I'm going harder, I'm doing it, I'm delving in even deeper, I'm going to make this a success, and never giving up are great positive traits. They're only great until they hit a tipping point. And with Wile Coyote, it always hit that tipping point. And it always blew up and backfired on him, right? He was the one getting blown up. He was the one getting rocks dropped on his head or whatever it was, right? Whatever trap he set, he ended up being the victim of that trap. Now, we all have these in our lives. We all have those situations to where we get on that Ferris wheel and we just keep repeating it and repeating it. And we've invested time and energy and emotions and money and everything else into this. And by golly, I'm going to make it work. But it keeps in different ways backfiring on us, right? And instead of saying, okay, this isn't working for me. This relationship isn't working for me. This financial plan isn't working for me. This business technique or strategy or whatever it is isn't working for me in my career. This strategy or thought process around my relationships keeps blowing up in my face. And you know what? It's the common denominator. Who's the common denominator? You. You're the one that keeps cycling through the same thing and not learning and growing and thinking, okay, instead of keeping going after this one roadrunner, there's other roadrunners in the world. And that could be a parable to many things, right? But he was singular focused. He was bound and determined, right? He was going to get that Roadrunner. He was hungry. He needed to eat. He wanted to eat. And so therefore, he was going to do whatever it took. And he kept ordering, if you noticed, from Acme. All the supplies, it didn't matter what he ordered, came from Acme. You know what the definition of Acme is? The highest point of something or someone expressed. So he had reached his zenith when it comes to what he was putting forth to capture the Roadrunner, to capture what he wanted, to obtain, to manifest that thing that he wanted more than anything else in the world. He had reached his zenith. And instead of saying, okay, I need to go a step beyond. But in order to go a step beyond, I'm going to have to look in different avenues, in different ways, at different programs and different techniques and tools. And I'm going to start having to learn and grow so that I can reach a new zenith. But he never did that, did he? He kept playing over and over again. And every Saturday morning, we would watch Looney Tunes. And by golly, there's Wile E. Coyote doing the exact same thing every weekend, right? Now, Roadrunner, on the other hand, would read the signs, read the differences in what was it coming along in front of him on his path, right? If he needed to slow down a little bit, he'd slow down a little bit. If he needed to make a turn and go down a different path, he'd make a turn and go down a different path. If he needed to create a whole new path, he would create a whole new path. And if it didn't matter whatever obstacle was put in his way, he would smoothly navigate around it. And then he would stop at the end and celebrate. Beep, beep, right? Roadrunner always. That is the only vocal in the cartoon. There might be signs held up that had something written on them. And there was music, but there was no dialogue except for Roadrunner saying, beep, beep. I was a success. I navigated whatever came in front of me, and I smoothly and quickly moved around it. Creating new pathways, creating new directions, creating new opportunities and new adventures. Now, are you Roadrunner or are you Wile E. Coyote? Think about it. Which one are you? Which one are you more often than not? Because life happens, obstacles happen. And sometimes the best Roadrunners in the world are going to be a Wile E. Coyote. And every once in a while, the Wile E. Coyotes of the world will have a Roadrunner moment and then go back to their Wile E. Coyote world. The thing is, you can be a Roadrunner. You can learn to become that person that reads the signs that Spirit's giving you, read the differences in your atmosphere, let your intuition tell you what to do, and navigate new adventures and new paths. So think about it. I know most of y'all didn't grow up in metaphysical lessons every Saturday morning. Well, Kelly Lee, what did that cartoon teach you? What were the lessons behind it? And what were the principles behind it? And what part of it was spiritual and what part of it was metaphysical? I got that growing up. Most people didn't. Most people could calmly and enjoyably watch their Saturday morning cartoons, and it wasn't a lesson, but in my household, it was a lesson. So think about those things that you watched as a kid and the ones that you really enjoyed. Because the ones that you really resonated with, the ones that you were gravitated to, chances are they're the ones that spirit was really trying to teach you the lesson. They're trying to just soak it into your unconscious paradigm. So what were those lessons of those Saturday morning cartoons that you couldn't wait to watch as a kid? Now, I don't even know if Saturday morning cartoons are still a thing. I don't have little ones around, so I don't know. But in my day and age, okay, we had 4 TV channels, and Saturday morning cartoons were a huge thing. So think about those lessons. And then if you know there's an area or areas in your life that you keep cycling and you don't know how to get out of the cycle, then book a spiritual power hour with me. I'll put the link in the comments. And in this hour, not only will we dive deep into, okay, where is it that you have that cycle going on and you can't see necessarily the path to get out of that cycle? And where is it in your life that, hey, yeah, an obstacle comes up and I can quickly and easily maneuver around it? And I'm excited for, hey, what's the new opportunity? What's the new adventure? What am I going to learn? What new techniques and tools and stuff am I going to gain out of this? But stop and think about it. When we're cycling in one of those systems, like Wile Coyote kept doing, we're really coming back on ourselves because we're not learning and growing and expanding. And so it keeps coming back on us. It keeps backfiring on us. It's like, hello, are you going to learn this lesson yet? Hello, are you going to learn this lesson yet? Are you going to learn maybe you need to do this another way? Maybe you need to go and look in another direction. Maybe instead of a road runner for dinner, maybe you look at something else for dinner, right? There's different aspects of the metaphysics behind Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. And I know for a lot of people, they're like, okay, I never looked at Saturday morning cartoons quite that way before. But cartoons, yes, they're there to entertain us. And they did. We laughed, we giggled, we were like, oh, and everything when we were kids. But at the same time, they were teaching us. They were expanding our horizons of what is possible. And they were showing us tips and tricks in order to be our best selves. Now, think of Scooby-Doo. Was it some scary, terrifying monster, ghost? No. It was always someone that was out for their own good, regardless of how it affected others. And not to be that way. To search within and find that part of us that is not respecting who we truly are, and is maybe hurting who we truly are. And if we try to force other people to our will, right, regardless of their excuse me, free will. Let me grab a drink. So it's not just Looney Tunes. I'm going to cough again. It is allergy season around this house because it's fall and leaves are starting to fall and the mold and all that comes with it, right? So please excuse me. But seriously, it doesn't matter what cartoon it was that was your favorite. I loved Casper the Friendly Ghost. But I was raised that someone that was on the other side of the veil was friendly. It was nothing to be afraid of. I even dressed up one year, maybe a couple of years, as Casper for Halloween. So take a moment, think about what cartoons did I like to watch? Well, what were those cartoons really about? And what were the lessons those cartoons were trying to teach me? What was the metaphysics in those cartoons? What were they showing me? What tips and tricks and tools and principles were they teaching me and trying to get into my unconscious so that I could live my best life? Because, and if you're like, ooh, I love this cartoon, but I really don't remember. I mean, I just remember loving it. I can't really remember it. Go watch an episode or two. Those clips were not long. Scooby-Doo may have been one of the longer ones, but most of those clips were not long. So go watch a couple of clips, and I bet you're going to be like, oh my goodness. Really? Oh, wow. And that's going to resonate you, and that's going to light a fire in you to say, you know what? I want to go down that avenue. I want to explore that avenue. And maybe that's something that lifts you up as a child and then you've put on a shelf as an adult. And you need to bring that back within you. You need to bring that fire, that spunk, that passion, that energy, that eagerness to run to the TV on Saturday morning and turn on Saturday morning cartoons and soak that all in, right? So I hope this makes you think. And if you're like, okay, I know I'm being Wile E. Coyote, at least in this part of my life, or this part of my business, or this part of my finances, or whatever it may be, and you want to grab an hour with me so that we can get you past that, then click the link for your spiritual power hour. And we will make magic happen, you and me together. So I hope this helps. I hope that you go and watch a couple of Saturday morning cartoons from your youth and get reinvigorated and get re-inspired. And until next time, keep expecting miracles. Take care. Bye-bye.